Welcome back to another episode of Lost in the Farmer's Market Garden Shorts, where today we're going to be talking about this specimen here before you. Now, this plant could be anything. However, it's a funny story of how it fell into my hands, but we'll cover that in a moment. The common name for this plant is wild betel leaf. However, its scientific name is Pepper sarmentosum. It's in the Peperaceae family, which means it is in fact a true pepper. As in, this bad boy, or girl, we don't judge in 2021, but anyway, will eventually produce peppercorns. But in the meanwhile, let's get into the deets, shall we? This plant is native to the Philippines, Indonesia, Vietnam, India, Laos, Cambodia, and China. In our climate, it is a perennial in zone 8A through 12. Not bad, so I could put this out in the ground somewhere and let it go loose. That's probably a bad idea. It prefers a soil pH of 6.1 through 7.3, and an exposure of partial to full shade, which is kind of cool. I mean, look at these juicy leaves. Well, anyway, its height can be 15 inches, though its stems can range along the ground up to 32 feet, because it is sort of a vine, but not really. Its overall growth and width, on average in cultivation, is anywhere from 6 to 9 inches. But you can see how it's growing right here. In a pot, this is what you're going to get. In the ground, crazy things happen. Now, before I get into the also known as section and other information, I'm just going to talk about how this plant fell into my hands, because it is a funny story. You see, in the lovely horticultural odyssey that is my life and my profession, folks come up to me and go, "I have something you've never seen before." And I go, "Yeah, okay, buddy, I swear if you give me another marijuana plant." True story. But some folks at the farmer's market were like, "Yeah, I have a plant to give you." And they gave me an elephant ear, but this thing was growing in it. And I'm not sure they knew what it was. Maybe they did, but maybe not. Now, the elephant ear is going to be covered in the next video. But this plant was quite a mystery. I had some help from a sustainable neighbor and one of the online groups she had access to. Her name is Vanessa Bernadette. She pointed out what the scientific name was, because I knew it was a pepper, but I didn't know which one. And they pointed out that it's sarmentosum because that is the one that is grown in these climates, where as far north as it goes as an outdoor plant. So, credit to Vanessa out there. If you see this, take a nod. You did good work. Now, let's get into the AK and the other. Other names include pepper lolat, wild pepper, and I'm going to mispronounce the heck out of this, chaflu? Chaplu? Chaflu? Chaflu? Do I need more phlegm in that? Is it chapstick? Don't know. But if you know how to pronounce that, please leave a comment in the comment section and let me know how badly I mangled someone's language. Anyway, the edible parts are the leaves and the fruit. The fruit, the little, I guess they're technically berries, but maybe not, are peppercorns. Ta-da! And if I dry them in the green state, they're green peppercorns. If I dry them when they're fully ripe, they're black peppercorns. And somewhere in the middle, they'll be red peppercorns. So there's that. Now, these plants are dioecious, which means that there are male and female plants. I have no idea what gender this one is, and I don't care. It's too cool for that to be an issue. As I said, the leaves are edible, but they can be edible in a raw form, like, for instance, in a salad. They can be cooked, and they have a peppery flavor. They also can be blanched. Now, in the cooked form, typically what is done with these leaves is they're used to wrap meat that is then cooked, which then imparts their flavor upon the meat. Which is sort of like how we use herbs here in Eurocentric countries. Same difference, except extra peppery flavor, with 3 A's in it. The largest leaves can be up to 4 inches across, and the fruit and the whole flower can be used as spice. So basically, every part of this plant is edible, but the stems, which, as you can see, this plant is very upright, so the stems are probably a bit woody and gross, but they may impart flavor, possibly something to chew on, and I don't know. Anyway, now there is supposed medicinal uses for this plant. However, as always, I advise that each and every one of you consult a medical professional and someone of specific specialty to explain to you how to use it and in what quantities and for what. I'm not necessarily sure this is a replacement for any particular medicines for ailments, though it says it may be an anti-diabetic, it may be for hypertension, it has, supposedly it's an anodyne, and it has an anti-inflammatory effect. So, that's pepper for you, or at least this pepper anyway. That's all I have for you on this plant today, but stay tuned because we're going to have another episode, and that will cover elephant ears. So, as always, if you like this, hit the like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe and leave a comment if you have a question to ask about these plants and what they do, why they do. As always, folks, keep them growing. Thanks for watching.